Okay, we're up to Lamed Beis Amid Aleph. The block tonight is very, very interesting. We know there are 5 tefillos that a Kohen Gadol does in Yom Kippur, and there are accompanying there 10 Kiddush Yadayim B'Raglayim. So, A, we're going to see it's Machlokis, the source for those 5 tefillos, and B, it's Machlokis, the source for the 2 tefillos before and afterwards. So really, it's not hard in concept. It's just following the cheshbon of exactly what took place on Yom Kippur that warranted changing of garments. Now, they changed the garments by the different tefillas. Here, guys, listen to this. Here's the rule of thumb. If it's an inyan of not unique to Yom Kippur, but it's avoided that's done all the time, then he wore the big day zahav. He wore the shmona begadim. If it's the avodah that's unique to Yom Kippur, then he wore the big day lavan. He wore the big day lavan, or we call it big day linen. Okay, so I'm gonna start with a pasuk. You should you can get pasukim. It's Perek Tezayin. Let me see where this is. I really hate this thing. Okay, you guys should be able to see this. You can see it on screen? Guys, you can see it?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Let me make it a little bigger. Let me make it a little smaller. Okay. So the pasuk says, it's Perek Tezayim, pasuk Chaf Gimel, and Chaf Daled. So Perek, again, it says, Uba Aaron al oil mayed. Aaron comes into the oil mayed, guys. Uposhit as big day habod. He takes off his linen clothing, Asher Lavash, that he was wearing, Bevo El HaKodesh, when he came into the Kodesh, V'nicha Sham. Now, we don't know why Aaron is coming into the oil mayed. Why is he coming in? It doesn't say why he's coming in. Then it says, V'rochatz es besoro b'mayim, he washes his basa b'mayim, b'makam kadosh, v'lovesh es b'gadav, and then he puts on his golden clothing, he does his oil of the oil of the oil of the So his oil and the oil of the that's an avoided that's done all the time, and that's done with big day, and that's done in big day zahav. So the pasuk abar oil mayed to push this big day abad. This is a very, very crucial pasuk for understanding the sugya. It's a very crucial pasuk for understanding the sugya. So we begin. Again, the aisle. This is an aisle. The oila. This is oila is nothing to do with Yom Kippur. It's called. It's not a Yom Kippur carbon. You'll see in the parsha. It's not a Yom Kippur carbon. Now let me go back. Let me do something else. Everyone has one of these. Okay, I'm going to try to get this on the screen, guys. I have it there. Just bear with me. I'm gonna not. Right, you see it? Okay, so now these are out of order. These two, number 3 and number 4, are out of order. This is pasuk of Daled in the Torah. This is pasuk of Gimel in the Torah. Why is it out of order, guys? So watch. Gold, white, gold. If you switch these two around, guys, you're going to have gold, white, gold. You'll only have 3 and not 5. You only have 3, not 5. You only have 3 switching in clothing, and we have a Lachal Moshe Misinai that you need 5. Good? So these two, it's out of order, meaning in the Torah, it's placed out of order to go ahead and tell you that, and it doesn't tell you what he did when he came inside. What he did, we have the Lachal Moshe Misinai, Torah Shabbat tells us he removed the machta and the fire pan and the kaf. He had gone in by number 2, placed the tyrus on the fire and left it there. And now what he's doing is he's switching to big day zahav, bringing the aisle and the aisle Then he's switching to big day lavan and going in and getting the empty fire pan and the empty spoon. He goes in twice. He goes in twice. He goes in twice. Good. Now, finally get it right. Now, it finally comes out and he changes into Big Day Zahav, and he brings the carbon tamid in the afternoon, the Musafim, then he changes to, and then he goes, then he go Big Day Chal, and he goes home. So you have a total of 5. Guys, watch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tefillas. Kiddush, you have 1 in the first one in the last, and 3 in the middle. That's the avoid of the Kohen Gadol Yom Kippur. So now we have a chance of at least understanding a little bit of what's going on based upon the psukim, how they're out of order, and hopefully it'll make a little sense. You have this chart; it's very, very good. Tan Rabban, I thank Mordechai Kornfeld from the Daf Yomi Advanced Forum. Talmud of Gusman used one of the earliest people to use the internet, and so the internet. It's a fantastic site. Daf Yomi Advanced Forum. Now, Tan Rabbanan, Uba Aaron al Mayed, Lamed Beis Amid Aleph. We're 3 lines down. Lamed Beis Amid Aleph. We're 3 lines down. Tan Rabbanan, Uba Aaron al Mayed. Aaron comes into the Oil Moed. Fredimar Lam Huba. Why is he coming in? Guys, it says he comes in, but it doesn't say the avodah that he does. It doesn't say a par, it doesn't say a seir, it doesn't say an oila, it doesn't say what he does. What is he doing? He's taking out the empty machta and empty kaf. That's what he's doing. To take out the kaf that had been with ketoris and the machta that was what the coals. In Perek Tezayin and Achrimos, you have an order of things, like we said, like the order, guys. First the Karban Tamid, then the Avodah, and then, but this is not in order. This is not in order, because the kaf is going to be before the ayil. In the Torah proper, the ayil comes first. But again, if the kaf comes afterwards, and the reason is to create another tefillah. Chutz mi pasuk zeh, my timer, what's the reason that it's placed out of order? So Amrav Chisda Gemiri, we have Allah Chamash Misinai, Chamesh Tfilos Vasar Kiddushin Toivel Kohen Gadol. 5 tfilos, and 10 times do they magdish the hands and feet from the Kiyar. Boy Bayoim. V'i Kisidron, and if you go according to the order of the Torah, Lei Mishkachas Lu El Sholish Tfilos V'Shisha Kiddushin. Guys, switch around number 3 and number 4. Look, guys. Switch around 3 and 4 on the paper, guys. You switch around the Chav Gimel and Chav Daled. Now, and go to the first column and look at the clothing. Zahav, Lavan, right? Then Zahav, Lavan. Again, you only have 3 switchings. By switching it around, you're adding a new machlef of clothing, and you're doing it because you have a Messiah of Allah Sinai that there had to be 5. So that's why it's out of order to go ahead and tell you switch it. Got it? I hope so. So Amar Chisda Gemiri Chamesh Tfilos Vasar Kiddushin Toivel Ben Kohen Gadol U'Magdish B'Bayoim V'Ikesidron LeMishkachas Lu El Sholish Tfilos V'Shisha Kedushim. Now, where do you learn out the tefillas from? Machloikes Reb Yehuda and Rebbe. Tanya, I'm Reb Yehuda. Min Lion LeChamesh Tfilos Vasar Kiddushim Shetoivel Kohen Gadol U'Magdish B'Bayoim. Talmud Loimar again, that same pasuk. Ubo Aaron Oil Moed. Aaron will come into the Oil Moed. Upashet es big day habad. He's going to take off the linen. V'rochatz b'saro b'mayim. He'll go to the mikvah b'machem kadosh. V'lovash es b'gadav. And he's going to put on his clothing. What clothing? The zahav. V'yotza v'asa. And he'll go out and do the ayil, his oila and the eila. So therefore, guys, what did you see? You went from lavan to zahav. And you went, it says V'rocha, it says B'sara B'mayim in the middle. That you do a tefillah. When you switch clothing, you're doing a tefillah. Hala marita, shekola mishana me'avoida la'avoida. Anytime you mishana, you change from one avoida to the next, tayin tefillah. It's important to go ahead and note that we're speaking about a change from linen to gold. Guys, so guys, good. Right? Pasha's big day lavan, he puts on bigadav gold, and then he does the ayil, which is what? An avodah that's done every day. So you have a source. This is the source, Rabbi Yehuda's source. Perek Tezayin Pasuk Chav Gimel and Chav Dal. Amar Rabbi. Rabbi has a different source. Rabbi's source is Perek. Rabbi's source is the Perek Tezayin Pasuk Daled. What? No, I can't. I just can't do this. I don't know how to work it quick enough. Okay, so Rebbe's source is
What is it?
Pasuk Dalet, Tezayin Dalet, Tezayin Dalet. Okay, here it is. Guys, you see it on the screen? No, you don't, right? You don't see it on the screen. Guess I gotta put it on the screen. I don't know where it is. I don't know how to use it. I'm so sorry. I really am. It breaks the whole. Okay, I'm just going with the pasuk. I'm sorry about this. I can't. Okay, so the pasuk says, Perek Tezayin. If you have a chumash, it's helpful. Perek Tezayin, pasuk Dalit. Kesonis bad kodesh yilbash, umichtase bad yah b'sarai, uve'avneit bad yachgar, uve'mitznefes bad yitznaif. And guys, mitznefes bad is what? Zahav. Big day kodesh heim. V'rachatz b'mayim es b'sarai. He should wash, go to the mikvah, ulevesham, and put on his big day lavan. So Rebbe learns out from a source going from gold to linen, as opposed to Rabbi Yehuda went from linen to gold. He's going from gold to linen. Okay, says let's see it inside. Says the Gemara. I'm a Rebbe. Minayin lechamesh tefilas v'asar kedushim shetayvel kain gadol. Umekadesh b'avayom shnemar k'soinis bad kodesh yilbosh. Umichlas say bad yal b'sarai ubavnei bad yachar uvemitznefes, which is big day zav bad yitznaif. Big day kodesh heim v'rachatz b'mayim es b'sarai ulevesham. And it's big lavan. Halamanata shekol chamisha me'avoda hamishana me'avoda le'avoda toyin tefila. Now, important. The Omer, in addition, says Rebbe, big day kodesh heim. It says that big day kodesh hukshu kol abgadim kulam zelazeh. This we make a hekesh. All the big day kodesh, whether they're gold or linen and gold, they're all mukish to each other. So, simply stated, guys, look at me. Rabbi Yehuda's source is Chaf Gimel. Rebbe's source is Dalid. Rabbi Yehuda's source goes from linen to gold, and Rebbe's goes from gold to linen. That's important to know. And then Rebbe adds a little join to the end, big day kodesh heim, which is important. Okay, so that's the setup right now. We're going to go over this brisa. Then we just have one more component to the brisa. What's that component? Going through the different avodos. Okay, says the Gemara. The Omer, big day kodesh heim, hukush kol abgadim kulin zelazeh, v'chamesh avodos heim. There were 5 different avodos. The first one was the carbon tamid that had the nesachim, etishim mizbeach hapnimi, had all the avodas of the early morning shel shachar. The big day zav that was done in the big day zav. Next, avodas hayoim, that was the unique to Yom Kippur, the seir, the par, spritzing, tyrus. That was big day lavan. Next, eloi ve'ela big day zahav. Next, the removal of kafu machte from the kodesh kedoshim, the big day lavan. And finally, Talmud Shel Ben Abayim, the big day Zahav. So again, what did the Brisa state, guys? Machlokes Rabbi Yehuda, Rebbe's source for the Chamesh Tfilos, and it just went through what different begodim they were wearing when they did perform the various avodas. Good.
They agree with each other.
Everyone agrees about the avodas. They psukim, right? Uminayin shekol tefillah tzricha shnei kiddushim. Okay, so now you told me tefillah. Now you told me that you need what? For each tefillah you need 2. Says the Gemara. How do you know you need 2 kedushin for each? Talmud Loimar upashat. Now there's no such pasa, guys. They put the word rochatz in the middle, and we dash in the word rochatz. It goes both ways. Upashat v'rochatz v'lavash. Pashat, he gets undressed. Rochatz, he washes. Now rochatz usually means goes to the mikvah, guys, right? Rochatz, he goes to the mikvah. V'lavash, and he gets dressed. Okay, so but really what it means is he does kiddush and he gets undressed, does kiddush, and he gets dressed. When you walk in from the street, you don't have to do tefillah. Guys, we said yesterday, why do you do tefillah? Only because you may have some old tumah on you. It's all derabanan. You weren't here yesterday, right? It's all derabanan. So you don't have to do a tefillah. But what do you have to do? Kiddush yadayim raglayim ad kadei kan. If you do the avodah without doing it, it's possible. So madach, you don't have to go to the mikveh, guys. Nonetheless, what? If you have to kiddush, makam shetayin tefillah, a place where you have to do tefillah. Ain't no din shetayin kiddush. Good. So that's the Rabbi Elazar of Shimon's kal v'chaymer. You'll ask imala halon kiddush echad only once. Afkan so too kiddush echad tamalaymar uba aron el oil moyed upashir es big day habara shel lavash, and he'll take off the clothing that he's wearing. Guys, he takes off the clothing that he's wearing. If you ain't wearing it, you can't take it off, right? Sometimes you read the Chumash and you think, right? Then you look in the Gemara. Hey, you're right. The Gemara says, of course you're wearing it. What else are you doing? That extra guy's word, asher lavash, is to make a hekesh between taking off clothing to wearing clothing. Malavisha, just as when you get dressed. Toyin kiddush, you have to go ahead and wash. Af pshita toyin kiddush. Okay, so that's the brisa. We go outside the brisa. Chamesh tefillas, Rabbi has his source, Rabbi Yehuda has his source. We went through different avodas, and we said that what? Kiddush yadayim raglayim, we have a kal v'chaymer from what? From kal v'chaymer from Rabbi Elazar of Shimon, from the street to there, you need a kiddush. So to what? Certainly from tefillah, you need kiddush. That's only one. Maybe this one's also one. No, we have a hekesh tefillah to levisha. Just like when you get dressed, you need one. So to when you get undressed, you need one. That's a total of 10. Now, let's go over the brisa. It doesn't say Amar, but it's interesting, but we're going over the brisa again. Rabbi Yehuda, how do you know? There's 5 Tamalaymar, Ubo Aaron el oil moyed. He comes into the oil moyed, V'rochetz es besor b'mayim b'machem kadosh. Now, and what does he do, guys? He's taking off his big day lavan and putting on big day zahav. Good. Ashrechin the big day lavan, the big day zahav. You only told me if you switch from linen to gold, do you need a tefillah? That's I told you it's important to go ahead and concentrate on exactly what they're doing. The big day zol, the big day love, minayin. How do you know the opposite? How do you know gold to love and would also require it? Says the Gemara, Tana Rabbi Shmuel, I'll tell you how you know. Kal v'chaymer, uma big day zahav, she'en koyin nichnas bahem lefnai lefnim, toyin tefillah, big day love on shenichnas bahem lefnai lefnim, ain't I din shetoyin tefillah? Madach. I would say the big day love one is more kaddish than the big day zav. The big day zav, you can't go into the oil mayed. Mashenkein, the big day love one, you could. So if you need from Lavan to Lavan to Zav, you need certainly from Zav to Lavan, the more Halakha one you would need. And therefore, what? I know tefillah by both changes, right? Because again, he's changing gold, linen, gold. I need both. Savli mudim. Says the Gemara, Ikal and Mifrach have a kasha on your Kal v'chaymer, Rabbi Shmuel. Mala big day Zav shkein kaparas and meruba. Rashi says you do the avoid in every single day. Or you have what? You have a lot of No. Taisei Shana says you do it in every single day. Rashi says all the Averis of the whole Shana, he's wearing them when he does it. So it's, in other words, a tremendous kapara associated with the big days of. So that's why you need what it's tefillah. Masha Enkain, good, you can walk into the oil moyed, the kachay kadashim, but doesn't nonetheless, you don't get a kapara the whole year with it. So the chayra, it's a kasha the kal v'chaymer. El nafik le mid the Rebbe. So now he is going to learn out Rabbi Yehuda from Rebbe's din. Guys, Rebbe learned out that what? You're going from gold to linen. Mitznefes ulo vaisham. So no, it's Rebbe had a source from gold to linen. Good. So Rabbi Yehuda has a source from linen to gold. Where's he going to know gold to linen? The same place Rebbe knows it from. So the MS, right? Rabbi Yehuda is not arguing with Rebbe. Only one prat. He's only arguing where do you know linen to gold, as Rebbe is going to say in a second. Guys, good? Okay, now, that was Rebbe Yehuda. Amar Rebbe, now going over Rebbe Sheet. Amar Rebbe, minayin lechamesh tfilos v'asara kiddushin shetovel kohen gadol u'mekadesh boy bayoim tamaloymar kisoinis bad kodesh yilbash halamarata shekol hamishana me'avoda lavoda shetoyin tefillah. Anyone who goes ahead and switches from right, good. So Ashkan, guys, big day Zahav, the mitznefes, the big day Lavan, the Lavash, the big day Lavan, the big day Zahav, minayin. Now, what should it say, guys? it should say Tana, the same thing. Tana Rabbi Shmuel, Kal V'chomer. Ma big day love and shein kaparasim ruba. Tana tefillah, big day zav. It's the opposite Kal V'chomer, right? Tefillah and shein kaparasim ruba has a lot of kapara. Ain't a din shetuna tefillah. Ikol mifich mal big day love and shein nichlas balufnai lefnim. In other words, what was the chumra in the first case? Now we're going to use it over here. Good. Now, so therefore, so what should it say? It should say, so Rebbe should use this Rebbe Yehuda source. Because Rebbe Yehuda learns out what? Lavan to Zav. But if you would do that, you would have a machlokes. There's no machlokes.
Right.
No, here's what you're saying. Guys, look at me again. I'm just going to put, Rebbe Yehuda says A, and Rebbe Yehuda says A, and he says little a. Rebbe says B, and he says little b. Okay? So now, Rebbe Yehuda, where does he know what? Where does he know it didn't little a from? We slug it up. So it must be he holds B. So Rebbe Yehuda holds like Rebbe. Rebbe says B A, B little b, he says A B. Now, if Rebbe is going to go ahead and switch his little b to be an A, so one will be A B, the other will be A, but they're the same thing. So therefore, it must be Rebbe has a different source. Where do you know love unto gold? I hope that makes any sense. No, I thought it was actually pretty good. I thought you was thinking of Mendel's piece, right? No, I'm saying I think it makes. Did you make any sense with that? Rabbi Moses Spike is looking like he just struck out in a fastball the outside corner. In other words, if Rabbi Yehuda's source is his own and Rebbe, so apparently he's not disagreeing with Rebbe. So if Rebbe's source for linen and gold is going to be Rabbi Yehuda, there's no machlokes. So it must be Rebbe holds differently, and he does. So says the Gemara, that's what Rebbe says, guys. Remember I told you, Rebbe throws in a little addendum? Guys, he says, yeah, what was the little addendum? He said, for Omer, it also says, what is it? Big Day Kodesh Haim, meaning all Big Day Kodesh, whatever you change, is going to be, you have to change your clothing. Meaning you have to go to the mikveh. Doesn't make a difference what, if you go from white to gold to white, make the shais. So it says the Gemara, now that you shlug the cover, so that's the Gemara says, you shlug up the kal v'chomer, v'hainu diktani v'omer big day kodesh heim v'rochatz espasa b'mayim v'levesham. Big day kodesh heim, whether you go even going from white to gold, it's big day kodesh. Okay. Now the next part of the brisa was the different avodas. The chamesh avodas same. Tamid shel shacha b'big day zav. Avodas hayoyim b'big day lavan. Ela ve'ela am b'big day zav. Kafu machte b'big day lavan. Tamid shel bein abayim b'big day zav. Uminayin should call tefillah tzricha beis kedushin. Okay, so guys, we know tefillah. We know tefillah. Not only know tefillah, we know tefillah from gold to white and white to gold. We know everything. Rabbi Yehuda has his pesukim. Rebbe has his pesukim. We're good. Now, what about kiddush? He told me that each one requires 2 kiddushim. Not that kiddush. That everyone requires 2 kiddushim. I'm looking at these hamburgers. I've already changed the color, please. I can't look at these things anymore. Change your food, okay? Anyway, says the Gemara. It's not even there. Okay, so now, how do you know the different tefillahs? How do you know that each and every tefillah is going to require kedushim? Okay, so now Talmud Loimar, it said uposhat v'rochatz v'lavash. He takes off v'rochatz v'lavash. Hi, said the Gemara. Hi betfilah ksiv. Guys, rochatz doesn't mean do kiddush. Rochat means to be toivel. Wash yourself. Now, 1 second. Do you need this for washing? You just had holimut, right? So what do we have? Im eino inyan lakan tenu l'makam acher. Im eino inyan l'tefila tenafkalim big day kodesh heim teneu inyan l'kiddush. Okay? Fred the Gemara, if you're telling me v'rochatz means kiddush, v'lichdei rachmana b'loshen kiddush, so write it in lashon of kiddush. Don't write in the lashon of v'rochatz. Says hakamash malon the tefila ki kiddush. Tefila is like kiddush. Ma kiddush b'makam kadosh, af tefila b'makam kadosh. Just like kiddush is kiddush is makam kadosh. Guys, you're magdish from the kiyar. The kiyar is between the ulam and the mizbeach, right? You know what that is in the picture? Yeah. So too the tefila of the Kohen Gadol Yom Kippur has to be makam kadosh. Again, remember the first one not the first one not, because that first one is not for Yom Kippur. The first one is nichnas lemigdash, right? Nichnas lemigdash is because of serach. It's because of sach. It's not the raisa. So the Makom Kaddish, that this tefillah has to be Makom Kaddish. So now we have a little understanding, right? That remember the picture number 28, number 43. I don't remember what it was. Right? You see it. The one it's Mekadosh. Okay, great. So now we're holding good. Now, for Rabbi Yehuda. Now, Rabbi Yehuda, where does he know Kiddush from? Rabbi Yehuda Kiddush Minolan. He can't use the pasuk of Rabbi because he uses that to teach me gold or white to gold, right? He uses it. Rochatz espesar b'mayim. He uses it to teach me white to gold. So he doesn't have it extra to teach me a Kiddush. So nafkalei the resume. He uses it from the Kalvachaim of Rabbi Elazar Rabbi Shimon. Ma'adach from Choyel to where you don't need to do a tefillah. You have to do Kiddush. You walk into the base of Mikdash. You don't have to do tefillah only because Serach, because of an old Tumah. You have to go ahead and do a Kiddush. Certainly, a place where you need tefillah, you have to do a Kiddush. So Rabbi Yehuda is going to learn the din of Kiddush from Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Elazar Rabbi Shimon's Kalvachaim. Amar Rav Chisda, Hod Rabbi Mafkim in the Rabmeyu, Mafkim in the Rabbana. Now, guys, Rabbi writes. The Rabbi wrote for Rochatz, Pasha for Rochatz for Lavash. Now, here's the half of meaning, guys. Watch. Here's what you did. Pashat. You got undressed. For Rochatz, you went to the mikvah. Then you did Kiddush for Rochatz, and then you went to the mikvah again, and then you got dressed. Let's go over yesterday's Shita. Machloikis between Reb Meir and the Rabbanon, exactly what transpired. Says the Chachamim, you did Kiddush, you got undressed, you got dressed, and then Kiddush, right? That's what you did. Loit Reb Meir, you first got undressed, and then you did Kiddush, then you got dressed, and then you did Kiddush. And we have Machlokes exactly, so this is a third Shita, because over here, you're doing both Kiddush in the state of undress. In the first one, Reb Meir says you're only undressed for the first Kiddush, but you're dressed for the second Kiddush. Like the Chachamim, you're dressed for both. Like this Shita, you're dressed for neither. Because you're saying for Rochatz is in the middle. It says Upashat, for Rochatz, then you're doing Kiddush and Rochatz, you're not dressed. So l'chayra, this is not agreeing with the Rabbanon, who said you're dressed for both, or Reb Meir, who says at least dressed for one. So that's what the Gemara's kasha is. That's a great question. Okay, it's a question of logistics, but I was thinking that you take the water from the kiyar in a pitcher and you would bring it and geese. You don't geese directly from there. You would take it in a pitcher and use that. I would think that. You just need the water from the kiyah. You don't have to be directly from the kiyah. Yeah. So that would be, I think that's what I would guess. So because to have them walking around without clothing makes no. Yeah, we're poshets, lavish beside the night. Yeah. Okay, so it must be. Okay, now. So says the Gemara. Says Rav Chisda. Hi, the Rebbe who says you need two kiddush in the middle between the two getting dressed. Mafkim with the Reb Meir is not like Reb Meir. Who mafkim with the Rabbanon is not like the Rabbanon. Mafkim with the Rabbanon who hold guys what you're dressed by both. Deal Rabbanonami kishu lavush magdish guys both before you get undressed and after you get dressed. For you are kishu poishit magdish, and he says what when you get undressed. That's like Reb Meir. However, umafkim the Reb Meir. Deal Reb Meir amar. Hach kiddush basra kishu lavush. He was like the Chacham Reb Meir in the latter one. You do the kiddush after you right is when you're dressed. The iwa my kishu poishit magdish when you're undressed. Okay, let's go through one more time. One more time, guys. Look at me. We had machlokes yesterday between Reb Meir and the Chachamim. Here's Reb Meir. You take off the clothing, you do kiddush. You put on clothing, you do kiddush. So the first kiddush is being done in a state of undress. The second one's doing in a state of dress. The Chacham hold, you do Kiddush and then you get undressed. And the second one is like Reb Meir. You first get dressed and then do Kiddush. So like the Chacham, you dress the whole time. Like Reb Meir, you're undressed the second one, not the first one. Rebbe says you're not dressed for either one because you're taking off your clothing, doing Kiddush, going to the mikveh, doing Kiddush, and getting dressed. So you want to say, Rav Chisda wants to point out that Rebbe's Shita does not hold with Reb Meir or the Chachamim. That's good. That's good. Okay. Amar Rav Acha bar Yaakov, Hakol Moedim, no, everyone's Moedah. Even Rebbe's Moedah, the Kiddush Sheni, the latter one, Shalavish ve'akach magdish. that first you have to go Edward and get dressed and then do Kiddush. My timer. What's the reason? The Amakra, because the Torah states, Oy begishtam el mizbeach, or you come close to the mizbeach. Mishein mechusa el gisha, you're only missing coming close. Yatzeh shemechusa levisha v'gisha. You will be mechusa getting dressed and coming close. You can't have a step in between coming to the mizbeach to do the avodah. And according to this, you will be missing something. Why? Because you'd have to get dressed if you did the kiddush. So it has to be that you got dressed before the kiddush, according to this, and therefore he would be like the shita of Remeah. He would be like the shita of Remeah. Neither one holds like the other one, because in Cain, Rabbi kedushin. If you held like Rabbi, guys, you would need. Now, why did Rav Chisda say two in the middle separate, right? Why did Rav Acha say you need a kiddush after you got dressed? So if they held like each other, you'd have a total of 3. 3 times 5, you'd have 15 kedushin. You wouldn't have 10 kedushin, and we need 10 kedushin. Okay, so as it says, you would have chamisa, which is a total of 15. So Bez Hashem, tomorrow the shir will be posted in the morning, and we'll see. I'm going to get it together what we're doing this Shabbos. We'll figure it out. Maybe Sunday we'll learn in the morning. Maybe I don't know. Don't worry. I'm gonna take care of you guys. Bez Hashem Yisparach, I should be well. We're gonna take care of you. Posted. Everything is posted. Posted. The only one who won't know. The only one who won't know is